Hey guys, and thanks for watching my guide to becoming a better shooter, tips and tricks. What inspired me to make this video is mostly because I like being on the internet. It tickles me, makes me feel good. But the most important reason is because I'm actually training a buddy of mine. I've trained a lot of my buddies. I've trained a lot of people at this point in my life, and he just recently bought a gun for his girl and him on Black Friday. Um, So when he bought him, good on him. He swallowed his pride and he knew he had no idea. What do you want, girl? Straight up, don't know what her fascination is with a British pig. I don't remember where I was. Anyways, yeah. So he bought two guns at Black Friday for his girl and him, and he swallowed his pride and he didn't actually know how to shoot either of them. So he came to me, and I've been training them on proper fundamentals, etiquette, safety, blah, 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 blah. And I've been trying to push him to the next level, if you will. So, what do I mean by the next level? I mean competition shooting and or classes. Preferred competition shooting. It's more fun. Anyways, I'm going to go over just real quick, kind of do a crash course on what exactly gripping the pistol is. Like before I do that, I want to explain that there are a lot of good videos out there on the internet on how to grip a pistol. I'm just going to do it really quickly so that you're not lost if you, for whatever reason, found this video and just want to, um, found this one first or something. I don't know. Anyways, Max Michel has a really good one. Jerry Miculek has a really good one. Travis Haley has a really good one. And Mr. Guns and Gear has an exceptional one. He breaks it down very easy for you. So, if you find my video and for whatever reason you have not watched a how to grip a semi-auto pistol yet, those four are a good choice on how to learn to do it. So, first and foremost, you want to grip the pistol as high as you possibly can. You do not want any dead space between the web of your hand, right here, and the grip. You want that thing snug. Alright? Now, get that thumb out of the way. You want it up here in the air. I know a lot of people are like scared of it like breaking off when the slide retracts or something, but you're going to be okay. Alright? But you see this gap that's made because I moved my thumb out of the way. I'm going to take my offhand. I'm going to put it here, right? And I'm going to literally just cover up that entire piece of the grip. And I'm going to punch out and point my thumbs in the direction of the target. And then I'm going to press the trigger. Anyways, that's how you grip a semi-auto pistol. Make sure that you are gripping it really hard. No wimpy gripping. Alright, grip this sucker hard. Try and break that grip. You're not going to be able to, but try to. Ain't your baby. Anyways, now that you know how to grip a pistol, we're going to move on to the next part of trying to get better at shooting. First and foremost is dry fire. You don't actually, as a beginner, need to shoot live ammunition to get better. In fact, even as an experienced shooter, dry fire can be an exceptional way to get better at shooting. Okay, what do I mean by dry fire? I mean literally an unloaded gun, completely unloaded, aiming at something, and pulling the trigger. What do I mean by aiming at something? Aim the weapon somewhere safe, people. I'm expecting you to know the safety rules. That's why I'm not going over any of them, okay? If you don't know them, I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, aim it somewhere safe, but aim it at something. Get the sights lined up properly, alright? Rack it and cock it, and all you're going to do is try and pull the trigger without moving the sights. Seems pretty easy, huh? And then you're going to keep doing that. Just aim at something, pull the trigger, sight shouldn't move, right? So what's going to happen is every time that you break your grip to charge the weapon and allow it to fire again, you're going to have to get back into your grip. And then you're going to have to do it all over again. The reason why that's a good thing is it's going to instill more muscle memory in how you grip this pistol. And bring it in, you're going to cock it, and then you're going to bring it back out. Pull the trigger again. Come back out. Pull the trigger again. and you're trying to keep it from moving. So that's going to help work out any kinks on your trigger finger. I mean, believe me, when you start firing live, you're going to see them again. All right, but it's going to help you. It's going to get you prepared for that a little bit. You don't actually need live ammunition to get better at shooting. Okay, experienced shooters. All right, from what I understand, JJ Rakaza actually sits in his backyard with his entire competition rig and does nothing but first shot draws and times himself dry firing, and that's how he gets a lot of his training in. All right, once you have a kid, I mean, it really jacks up how much free time you have, right? But anyways, that's one of the, he's one of the fastest shooters in the world, and that's how he trains. All right, so obviously live fire is more important, but you can't always get it. So dry fire can definitely substitute a lot of that. All right, so, whoa. All that being said, all you're doing with the dry fire for now is prepping yourself with your trigger press. You want this trigger to not move. You don't want to move the gun when you pull the trigger, right? That's probably the most important part. You also want to make sure that your grip is good. Why? You don't want to make any bad habits. You want to make sure that that grip is good, because as you get better, your grip's going to matter more. All right. So your grip's getting better. You're not moving your sights anymore when you pull the trigger. Congratulations. All right. Now go buy a box of 50 rounds and go to your local gun range. Okay. You go to your local gun range and pick up your lane, and you got a box of 50 rounds, and you've already loaded up 2 full magazines. All right. Assuming that you have, let's say you have 2 targets. All right. So what you're going to try and do is pick a point on the target, and you're going to start shooting groups. Okay, you're new at shooting, so you want to try and basically establish accuracy. You want a basis for how well you're shooting. All right, so you're going to take a loaded magazine. 6 Hour Academy has this drill. You can see it from a really beast dude, and he live fires it. All right, but it's a really good drill. It's one that I use a lot. Okay, take a loaded magazine. You're going to load it into your weapon, and you're going to chamber around. Okay, after chambering around, all you're going to do is, by the way, it's not an actual loaded magazine. All right. After you load around, you're going to take your magazine out, set it back on your little lane, and you're going to press out, aim at a point on the target, pull the trigger. After pulling the trigger, the weapon is going to cycle as if there was a magazine with loaded cartridges in it. All right. And your trigger is going to reset. Once your trigger resets, do the same exact thing. My cat, I swear, I don't even know why I own animals. Alright, anyways. Once the weapon recycles, do the same thing. Alright, you're going to post out, aiming at the same point. Alright, pull the trigger. It's not going to go bang, but you're going to actually, your mentality and everything like that on the range, you're going to think, you're going to flinch and stuff like that as if it was going to go bang. And then you're going to be able to consciously see how bad you just messed up, right? Because, I mean, the way you feel when you're actually shooting live ammo is like, you think you're really cool and stuff like that, and then you mess up. You're like, oh man, that was embarrassing. I hope nobody saw that. That's normal, all right? That's really normal. You're newer at shooting. You swallow your pride, all right? And this is how you diagnose these problems. So don't allow this to like totally crush you, because this is how you get better, all right? So you get your magazine again, all right? At this point, depending on what gun you have, in this case, a 15-round magazine, you should have 14 rounds left. Insert it, chamber around, drop the magazine, do it again. All right? Say you still have a box of 50 rounds. All right? At this point, if say you do an entire iteration of 15 rounds, you're going to have 35 rounds left. Okay? So try and pick 3 spots on that target to group. All right? Do 5-shot groups. Now, by the time you hit 15 rounds, you're probably going to be a little tired. Your hands are going to be a little bit like wobbly and shaky and stuff, because you're going to be working muscles in your forearms and stuff like that. You really don't normally work. Okay, that's good. That means you're improving yourself. It means that your body is having to work at it. All right, you're not just picking up the gun and shooting wildly like Bruce Willis. Love Bruce Willis and all, but you know, I've watched way too much Die Hard. Okay. Anyways, though, your hands should be a little bit tired. At this point, what you can do is, if your range allows it, all right, check with your range rules. All right, you can try something like a build drill. All right. Assuming at this point you don't have a holster yet, you're going to do a modified version of it, okay? So, take a magazine. This is a beginner build drill, all right? Take a magazine, load it into the gun, chamfer around as if you were, doing anything else, all right? Post like this, bring the gun low, right? And what you're going to do is, if you have a buddy with you, all right, he can time you. He can, like, tap you on the shoulder as he hits the timer button, and he can time you shoot 6 rounds. Okay, if you don't have a buddy, that's okay. Just shoot 6 rounds. Knowing how fast you're actually doing this is nice, but you're new enough to the point where it's not going to matter, because you're going to get faster at this pretty quickly if you do it right, okay? So, all you're going to do, you have the weapon out like this, and then you're going to drive it up, and you're going to fire 6 shots as fast as you can, while keeping about a fist-sized shot group. So what does that mean? You're going to be shooting 6 shots as fast as you can while keeping accuracy in mind. Now, this is going to be hard. Why? Because you just did 15 rounds of like holding the gun out and, like, concentration, right? So your hands are probably going to be a little bit tired, a little shaky, probably going to be breaking grip, all right? But it's pushing you, right? You're pushing your training a little bit farther, right? This is simple stuff, but believe me, if you're new, you're just trying to get confident with this gun. You're trying to push yourself confidently, right? Now, remember what I said about this drill. You're trying to be accurate still. So don't just start going like it's a machine gun or something, all right? Because you're not going to improve that way. What you're trying to do is make sure that you shoot just slow enough to where you can keep a solid grouping with this gun. So, don't just get up there and start blasting away and pulling the trigger as hard as you can, all right? Like, really and truly try and keep yourself concentrated on accuracy during the drill. And you'll get better at A, controlling the pistol under recoil, all right? B, you'll be able to manipulate the trigger, right? You're doing the fun thing now, all right? And C, you're going to feel cool doing it once you start being able to do it really good, all right? So those are 2 really good drills. They're very common. They're something that everybody's done in their lifetime at this point, and it's a good way to progress, all right? So let's say that you do that like 3 times. That puts you at about, oh my God, I suck at math, 18 rounds. All right, there we go. So what you're going to do now is you're down to, oh my dear Lord, I hate math. Okay, you do it 4 times, okay? And then finish up with the last few rounds with your last target. Put your last target up, because at this point, what you're going to do is the remainder rounds should be done doing groups. I understand that groups are not fun. I understand that they don't make you feel cool, and in a lot of ways, you probably can think of a million other things you'd rather do with your remaining 50 rounds, right? With what's left of those 50 you started with. But you want to get better. Why? Because the better you get, the more fun you're going to have when you're actually shooting, because you're going to feel cool doing it. All right? So with those remainder rounds, go ahead and do that original group drill that I told you about. Take your magazine, load it up, rack around, drop the mag, fire, weapon cycles, dry fire. So it's going to help you further diagnose your problems. And the reason why that ending portion is so important is because after doing a couple iterations of the build drill, you're going to be in a state of, like, the mistakes are going to start showing themselves again now, right? You've taken a break from doing the shooting the groups, and your mind isn't preparing itself for the dry fire anymore. So you're almost kind of tricking yourself. tricking yourself is one of the best ways to get better at shooting, trust me. So you load this magazine for the first time, rack that round, drop that mag. You're like, oh man, I was killing it earlier, man. And then you're going to go up and you're going to pull the trigger, right? Weapon's going to cycle and you're going to be all like, oh yeah. Damn it. Right? But then you get to diagnose more problems. And you get to be consciously thinking about it. Like, oh man, I got to work on that. All right? Getting to take a buddy to the range, I know that there's some people that are like weird and they're like, man, I don't really like going to the range with other people. Okay, that's weird. Don't be that guy. Go with a buddy. Why? Because it's just like a gym buddy. He can push you to new heights. But more importantly, what's going to happen is he can start like helping you trick yourself, right? So something me and my brother do when we go to the range together is we'll take our magazines, right? Each one of us, and we'll load maybe 4 rounds in this one, right? And then we'll load maybe 7 rounds in this one, right? And then take the other one and be like 3 rounds, all right? And we're going to give our magazines back. And the trick is that we don't look at them. We're not going to try and judge how many rounds are in it. We're just going to load that sucker up, all right? And then say we're at a range that allows us to have 2 targets, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing transitions, all right? And then so as soon as we hit slide lock, which will surprise us because, I mean, let's be real here, you're used to having 15 rounds or something like that before it hits slide lock. So then you have to immediately emergency reload, hit your slide release, or rack it back, depending on what you fancy, and then get back into doing your transitions, right? Double tapping transitions, all right? You're going to hit slide lock again because we just totally screw with each other, right? So then you're going to have to reload again, emergency, get back into hitting them again. That's a good way to work reloads. It's a good way to work slide release slash doing that. All right. It's a good way to also, you don't have to do transitions with it, okay? You could just be looking at the target and trying to do a continuous nice group. All right. Trying to get more accurate and trying to pick up your pace a little bit, right? You can variate these a little bit. But the point is that with a buddy around, you two can kind of, make it a little bit more fun, make jokes, talk crap, whatever you want to do. Ultimately, though, getting better at shooting requires work, just like learning to play an instrument, going to the gym to get sexy, all right? These are all things that require work, but you're going to get the same amount of results for how much work you put into it. I hope this helped. If it didn't, then, screw it. I mean, it's just going to sit on YouTube for the next 50 years or however long it takes for Google to finally just wipe me and destroy me from the inside. You know what I mean? But either way, I really hope this helps somebody out. If you have any questions or any other, tips or anything that you'd like to cover, or hey, maybe you're one of the weird guys like me that sometimes is just on YouTube and finds random crap, and you already know how to do all this, and you have advice for people that are watching this video, go ahead and put it in the comments section, and please like and subscribe if you actually enjoy my presence, like some of us, kind of do. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and taking up 18 minutes and 38 seconds of your life.